life. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm pretty much content with just rhyming all day.
Or digital can instantly share pictures.
I can start. Hello. I am sorry, but I must interrupt this show.
Later, you know what it is. Hey, Ham, it's time, baby. Low, let's turn out we do. Hey.
They said we said we in. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go. We say that you heard right. 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 They said we said we in. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go. We say that you heard right. 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 Man, I swear that it's imminent. I've been going so hard on my penmanship. About to go in and buy me a wheel. And I pull that shit fresh off the dealership. I can leave you on red like an Xbox. Got me laughing at you like you red fox. Got you chasing Hot Wheels like a matchbox. EA running the game and it don't stop. Super cold like I'm playing for Blizzard. Cut you all in my sights like Red Dead Redemption. Never gonna slip on my pimpin'. Better get out my way, bitch, I'm on a mission. Really ain't no competition. I'm steady grilling opposition. I'm get up and ready to win. They can play it how they play, but fuck what you say. I'm getting this money today. Last of us like a dying breed. Down the ride like a noble steed. Fatality moves, I make you bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit. They said we said we in. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 100th. You heard that right. 100th episode of the Low-Down on TSWS Gaming.
Look,
I'm
you
Low
are
Down.
ready, boy. You are ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh my God! Like
Joining me,
didn't even let the intro finish. He's like, "Cut."
Let's go. Number 100.
The
Too
quicker I
big,
pick up this phone, the sooner I can hang it up.
man. Too big. Thank you so much for making it very early. It says made it. Aloha Kakaika. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. Kakaika. Thank you, Too Big. And I think it's symbolic, Ham. I think it's very symbolic that one of our first, if not our first consistent supporters on TSWS is here to celebrate with us nice and early on the 100th episode of the Lowdown. Ham, how you doing? What you been playing? And before we get into the news, I'd like to, smell the roses a little bit. What do you think about the Lowdown? What has it meant to you? Uh, just tell us how you feel about like this segment that we've had for a couple of years now.
Or you're asking me to tell you?
Yeah. And share with the chat, obviously.
Well, it's something to be around you more than once a week. It's something. I like being around all these fine ladies and gentlemen that join us every week and, join us on different shows throughout our times together and whatnot. But yeah, the Lowdown in particular, like 100. You said 100th episode?
100.
That's impressive. I mean, we started something, we stuck to it, and now we've done it 100 times. I don't know how phenomenal I feel about that, but I just know that I did it 100 times now.
All right, so Ham's not feeling very in his very celebratory mood. Sure. Rachie, welcome in. Says Lowdown, where's the fight? Ham, Xbox, low PS5. Where's the console war? The console war died, bruv. It died, and Xbox killed it. Ham, please tell us how you're feeling and what you've been playing.
I've been playing a lot of Ninja Gaiden. I've been playing Ninja Gaiden. I beat Sigma, which is the original one. I wish I would have went and played Black, but I already had some progress in Sigma, so I just went on ahead and beat that. I'll tell you, just because it's not Black and it's Sigma, it doesn't mean it's an easy game. It just means that there's less nudity and stuff like that in the game. So I still struggled my butt off in that game, and it was fun and irritating many different times, many different ways. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black I've been playing, and I'll tell you right now that that game is a lot more comfortable.
It's easier.
Yes, but I feel like it's easier because the game isn't as stiff. I don't feel like it's easier because the game like it's not as hard per se. I think it's easier because it's like, oh, these camera angles aren't as horrible. Oh, I can move a little bit more fluid. Right? It doesn't feel like if I screw up a combination, I'm stuck until like they finish doing an animation. It feels like maybe it cuts off your move a little quicker, so you can go to do a different move or something like that, right? So I'm not sure for sure if it's easier. It might be a little easier, but it's not a lot. It's not so much that it feels like a different game. Okay? So like, but it definitely still has its, you figure out how to beat this boss. It's not just super duper straight up easy without thinking type of like most bosses in a lot of games, it's just like go and hit them until they lose health, right? But in a lot of the Ninja Gaiden bosses, it's like, how and what am I supposed to be hitting, and how can I cheese this properly? Like, no, seriously, because if you're not trying to figure out how to cheese it, you're in for a long fight. You know what
But
I'm
it's still
saying?
doable straight up. It's still doable straight up,
It
right?
is doable straight up, sure. But that's like saying, man, I just want to just barely tap. Melania
and struggle.
every time I get an opening, I'm just gonna swing one time and just take off like a centimeter of that health of Melania, and I'm happy with that. And
Do the
it's just
full
like,
45 minutes.
No, you want one attack to damn near decimate Melania.
Yeah.
Right? You want to throw that bitch off the top of the Eiffel Tower. You don't care where she lands.
I still haven't found her in Elden Ring.
Oh my goodness, that's tragic.
Well, I only have 4 achievements to make it to 100%. So, also I had to uninstall Elden Ring so I could reinstall Dustborn just because of what happened on Friday. So that did not
all
help.
right, well, I'm done talking about what I've been playing. I'm more interested in what you're telling me what.
Clearly,
but let's
right?
definitely talk about what you've been playing, because that sounds like a good time.
No, it's not. It's not a good time. I'm just gonna gloss over it very quickly. I've
Let
been
the
playing
dust settle,
Dustborn.
bud. Let the dust settle.
Yeah. I can't believe we made it to 100 episodes with all of this slander. But yeah, I played Dustborn for about 2.5 hours yesterday. Raichi was one of the people accusing me of enjoying it because I was supposed to play it for just 1 hour, but there I was 2.5 hours later, still playing it.
I like how in our private chat, Matt said it should have been 3. I was like, man, what a W take.
You know what the worst part is, Ham? The absolute, most tragic thing about yesterday's stream, I ended up deciding that I'm gonna finish the game. Like, fuck it. I'm gonna finish it. So yeah. What else was I playing?
That's a
Sword.
W already as well. Golly, man, so many dubs.
No, no, no. So
Dub, dub,
because
dub, dub,
so
dub, 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 dub.
so I thought I was being clever, right? I thought I was being clever. Who was it? Big Mad Mo was like, look, would you... Too Big says I got immersed. No, no, I did not.
You
Let me give
clearly
you-
did because he cannot stop. He needs to finish. You know,
No.
like
No. Don't say I need to
you know,
finish
like,
like that.
hey,
man. Pause.
hey, it's a bad time with a lady when you just got to get up and leave, right? But when you feel the need to finish,
Calling it quality.
then
Too-
you're saying that this was even if it was just for a moment, there was quality time. There was quality time had, even
Alright,
if
fine.
it was only for a moment.
There was a section that was good when we were on the motorcycles driving away from the gas station, and then I had to throw Molotovs at random bikers. That was the one time. I'm not gonna lie.
Felt it.
That was the one time that like I had fun. All right, I had fun. That's all I'll say. Hey, welcome in, Poison Maniac. Says awesome. No, it wasn't awesome. Anyway, let me finish the story of how I ended up in this conundrum. So I'm playing Dustborn, right? And then I'm telling everyone that I'm just playing this because I lost the bet on Friday. As soon as I'm done here, I'm uninstalling it and moving on with my life. Too Big's like, look, you should probably just finish it because we're having fun, and everyone in the chat was having fun laughing at me. So I was like, thing is, I'm an actual gamer. Like, I'm not a grifter. I actually play video games to have fun, and I'm not having fun with this thing. So the only scenario I can see myself playing a game that I'm not having fun with is if I'm getting some sort of monetary reward. And then Big Mad Mo pulled out the Uno reverse and is like, well, I'm a paying member
Oh
of
my
TSWS. I was like, Jesus, Lord, why'd you make me walk into that rake? He's like, so I'm a paying member, and my request for this month is that you finish this game. So, I kind of walked into that one. I'm going to finish Dustborn.
That's too
Great
bad.
times.
That's too bad. I'm happy I'm not in your conundrum and I don't just continuously walk into rakes.
Dude, this thing is just escalated like from bad to worse to awful. This thing started off with maybe I won't play MGS for 1 week to escalating to, all right, every time you mention it, you have to play Dustborn for 3 hours, to escalating to, okay, finish Dustborn. So here I am.
Yeah, now we're gonna have to find you a new terrible game. You know, one game that's not really terrible,
Okay.
but man, it'd be a long game for you to finish, and I know you have access to it.
What is it?
Dragon Age Velguard.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. I'll never say that word again. Yeah? I'll never mention Kojima's game. Dude. No, Ham.
You can get like 60 to 80 hours
Oh my lord.
of
And
that
then
before you complete the story properly.
Matt will be like, you have to do all the side quests.
Well, that is with the side quest of getting a proper ending. It's
God
about
damn.
60 hours.
God damn. Nah, Ham. No. Listen. Let's dead this discussion and get into the news, because this I feel like I'm enabling you guys, and I'm not a masochist. I actually, I like having a good time. I don't like
Well,
suffering.
look, I like to see you have a good time, but I also don't mind it when you step on rakes.
Well, here's how I'm gonna dodge this rake, Ham. I only have Dragon Age the Veilguard on the Xbox, and I don't have a capture card or any device to
Oh,
project.
I can fix that.
I thought
If
we
you
were
want
friends.
to take it
dude.
there, Loke, if you want to take it there, don't make me fix it.
Okay. Anyways, let's move on. Too
I
Big
can
says
fix it in all of 10 minutes.
Ham. There's some problems in this world.
And
You
and,
just
and,
need
and
to
let me
let
tell
them
you
be.
one last thing, Loke. It is super optimized. So it will work on your device.
Oh my God. Too Big says 2.5 hours. Say otherwise. All I hear out of Loke is praise. Poison Maniacs having a laugh. Rachie says Tash is worse than PAX. Oh my God. Too Big says you'll sponsor the capture card. All right, guys. End of discussion. Y'all, this is not the podcast where we get Loke to
Let's go.
agree to not only finish Dustborn, but then also go and finish Veilguard. That's not happening. All right.
Yo,
Too
you're
Big.
talking about getting a free capture card for Yo, come
I'm
on
good.
now, bro.
I'm good. If the price is Dragon Age the Veilguard, I'm straight. Thanks. Too Big. If you want to sponsor something, sponsor my green card, bruv. All right, let's get into the news because this is getting out of control. All right, we need to focus on the video games, not making Loke's life miserable. Um, so the news is Sony is dropping the PSN account requirement on PC, but having one will now unlock in-game content.
Smart.
Before we get into the specifics of this article, what's your big takeaway from this move from Sony?
I just told you, smart. Right? Because it's just like you're not punishing people that are outside of your region, right? From not being able, like you have to have this, or you have to get some sort of silly VPN to access it or whatever. You, Loke, you know, trying to play a game, trying to purchase a game, and then you find out, oh crap, you can't play it because you have to log into PSN, and you can't do that or something like that. So now you don't have to worry about it, and
Exactly.
and then this is targeting those that could log into PSN and saying, hey, you don't have to, but if you did, it's kind of like, signing up for a rewards program at like McDonald's or something like that. You don't have to, but if you do, we'll throw in a few extra things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, right? Like they're not gonna get $20 off because you fuck with PSN, and it's not gonna be anything like that. It's just gonna be like, oh yeah, here's an extra skin and maybe like a level up or something. Like that's as crazy as it could get, is like a level up or something like that.
Yeah. So essentially, this is like carrot versus the stick. They tried the stick. I'm guessing a lot of people spoke with their wallets by not buying certain games or asking for refunds from Steam or something, because corporations don't just pivot for the sake of pivoting. There must have been some numbers. Someone's analysis showed them that they would make less money by doing this, which is what we also said, because you're essentially cutting off more than half of the planet, saying, yeah, we don't need your money. It's like, what? We also buy games, and PC gamers make up the majority of gamers in terms of like AAA consumers, right? Which is what Sony produces most of the time. So this makes perfect sense. But my big takeaway, Ham, is day and date's coming.
It has to. You can't just keep beating around the bush and giving, oh, we'll give you a little bit better of a deal than it was yesterday, but it's still not that good of a deal. Like, people are gonna get sick of that. Like, I mean, you're still kind of dangling the carrot, right? And people are not feeling that. So what they're saying is like, yo, just give me the damn carrot. Either give me the carrot or just take it. We don't care which one you do, but just quit trying to mess with us, essentially. And Sony seen that and said, you know what? Fine, we're dropping it. We're
Yeah.
dropping it. But if you do want this carrot, just sign it down the line real quick. And you can have the carrot.
Yeah. It's on, guys. I'm sorry. It's over. Like Xbox killed the console war, PlayStation followed. Now it's just Nintendo dancing, solo dancing on the dance floor by themselves. Uh, PC players will soon no longer require a PlayStation Network account to play Sony's first party games, but having one will now also unlock in game extras. We don't care! We have mods on PC. Anyways, with the release of Marvel's Spider Man 2 for PC on January 30th, having PSN account to play the game will be optional. That will also be the case with previously released titles God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, plus The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, which will be released on April 3rd, 2025. I thought this game was already on PC. However, Sony will now be offering in-game content unlocks to incentivize players to use a PSN account, which also offer players trophies and friend management. Players with PSN accounts will receive the following benefits: early unlock suits. This means nothing because, like I said, mods on PC, there's going to be more Spider-Man suits on PC than the PlayStation that has a ton of them. God of War. Gain access to the armor of Black Bear set for Kratos. Again, right? The mods on PC, way more armor sets, including the Black Bear armor set. Last of Us Part 2, 50 points to activate bonus features and unlock extras. What extras? What else? Jordan's jacket from Intergalactic. We can have all the jackets. We can be wearing Chicago Bulls jackets in The Last of Us Part 2 on PC. Not a motivator. Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered. Gain access to Nora Valiant outfit. I'm not going to repeat myself ad nauseum. So let's start the quote. Let's read. Let's read the quote.
All
Game
that value.
nothing. No ham. All right.
Well, the
Before.
thing is with
Okay,
this
go ahead.
value, you don't have to get a mod. You can just push the button. So there's that. Because
Yeah.
believe it or not, most people that play the games are those people. They don't want to deal with that.
Well, I heard like mods. Actually, I know this. Mods turn off achievements, but also they can sometimes like break the game or make the game not run or whatever, right? But my point is that if this is what you're offering, right? Skins. Essentially, that's all you're offering. Skins for a single player game. On PC, you're not offering anything. That's all I'm saying. Because
Well,
if you're
I'm not
really
saying it's much. I'm just saying for those that don't want to do the extra thing for mods, but they want to have a little something extra, and they just get the clamoring whenever they see something from Sony. There you go, you got something.
I'd be
Got
embarrassed
some.
if that was my outlook. I'd be embarrassed if I was on PC and I want to see a whole bunch of like weird stuff for my character, and I'm stuck on one or two little extras, but I'm on PC. Dude, if I cared that much about cosmetics, I would freaking do it. I would start getting into mods. Sure, my achievements would be zero on games. Sure, my games would be breaking all the time, but I'd be having all the fun, right? I'll put Goku into The Last of Us and have a ball, which is what players can do. So I'm just saying, if they were gonna give people value, they should have given them a lot more. And if it's only cosmetics, it should have been like, dude, 12, 20 specific cosmetics. Do you know what I mean? This is one or two. That's not enough for you to come here and take my data, or that's not enough for me to pay for a VPN and pretend I'm not in Mozambique. That's all I'm saying. I can't wait to mod the Cuban flag back. All right. Okay, Rachel. Let's get back to this article. Here's the quote. game creators at PlayStation Studios will continue to work on bringing more benefits to players who sign up for a PlayStation Network account. So be sure to follow studio channels for more information, said Assad Kizilbesh, SVP Head of Publishing for PlayStation Studio Business Group. Today's announcement follow confirmation earlier this month that The Last of Us Part 2 on PC would require a PSN account. While this has been the case for some multiplayer titles such as the now defunct Concord, the inclusion in strictly single-player games has previously attracted the ire of players. Other than the requirement of a second account for the fact that PSN is not available in many countries would in theory preclude players in many regions from playing the game. The backlash to the PSN inclusion Helldivers 2 was such that Sony itself U-turned and removed the requirement, saying at the time it was learning what's best for PC players. All right, and that's it. That's the article. We're done. This is like nail in the coffin. PSN on PC is done. Ham, I think the echo is coming from your end.
No, I just unmuted my mic to say that, so no.
No,
I've been muted for like the last 2
yeah,
minutes.
yeah, but when I speak, I can hear myself on your end. That's what I'm saying. I think it's coming from your end.
But I'm saying how did that happen when I've been muted?
No, not when you were muted, but when you open your mic and then I speak, I can hear myself on the other end, and then you close the mic and then I can't hear myself on the other end. That's what I'm saying. The echo is coming from your end.
Okay.
Ron can't wait to mod Naked Spider-Man. Will it swing? Will it have like physics? That's like my question, right? Is like, will the physics be included in the mod? Anyways, how many final thoughts on PSN being done on PC or not being mandatory on PC? Sorry.
I already gave you my thoughts.
All right. Now let's move to a topic that I'm not a big fan of, but it seems to be the one that's super popular right now. So not gonna run away from it. Okay, we're gonna have to face this one together. Everyone, hold hands. Don't cry. Microsoft was the number one games publisher in the world last month. Nearly 0.5, so 500 million, was spent on Xbox games across Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox in December. 465 to be specific was spent on Microsoft games over the holidays. That's according to data from Ampere and includes sales of Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which was one of the biggest games over the holiday period. It also includes the release of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which launched in December. But it was Call of Duty that delivered the majority of the success. Call of Duty HQ, which includes Black Ops 6, attracted 38 million monthly users in November 2024, Ampere says, which set the game up strongly for December. Microsoft has been putting increased focus on its multi-platform, multi-format strategy, and 64% of customer spending on Microsoft titles in December was on PlayStation formats, driven by Call of Duty. Ampere says that Microsoft was comfortably ahead of second-placed Electronic Arts, which generated 366 million over the same period. EA's performance was driven by EA Sports FC 25, which delivered big numbers, albeit smaller than they were last year. Ham, go.
Go what?
Microsoft was the number one games publisher in the world last month. Thoughts? Thoughts, Ham?
And
Oh,
and you know
this
what
guy
I'm
wants
saying?
he wants to rub it in. He wants
It
to rub
just
it.
is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. We already know. We already know. This is what it is. What do you say, Loke? What do you like to say?
What?
Is it like live with it or
Make
deal with
peace
it?
with it.
or
Make peace with it.
Make peace with it.
It'll
It
hurt
will
less.
hurt less, right?
Ah, this guy.
Am I doing it right?
Yeah, yeah, I am.
It'll hurt less.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Ain't nobody
just trying
hurt
to
you.
remember. There was a certain saying at the beginning of the generation, if you remember. There was one of these sayings about Xbox and games. I can't really.
Xbox
remember
has no
how it went.
games.
What was it? It was Xbox.
You're very forgetful today, Ham. You're very
has-
forgetful.
What?
No
What
games.
does Xbox have?
No games.
So yeah, it was Xbox has no games, and now they're in. Now they are made fun of because they're the biggest publisher, and people are like, man, they have games. They got so many games. They're giving some to PlayStation now too. And now that's a L. Not having any games and not giving them to anybody's a L. And then having games, having so many games that you have to give some away is an L as well. Man, I'd rather be the latter one. I'd rather have too many games to the point where, you got to start giving them. You got to start giving them over. You know, because we got to make ends meet. We got to make things count. We got to make sure, things get enough money to be able to be reinvested into. So, yeah, that's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting.
Diego de los Rios is coming for your neck, Ham. Says spin it, Ham. While we buy games, whole slate, full blown publisher. The Hopium.
What am I hoping for? They're literally the number one game pub. Where's? I don't see this part of the title that says, "I hope they become the number one publisher." No, they are.
This guy.
They are the number one publisher.
There's
no hope. There's no hope. Like Sony hoped to be a great publisher last year, but failed. There's your hopium. You hoped Concord would have been great, but
oh my God!
Hope.
Every 5 seconds, people bring up Concord.
Hope. I'm just saying, the same people that are like, Microsoft is giving us the games and whatnot. It's because your own platform couldn't even give you your own game to keep them away. I think if they had their own game, they wouldn't want one from Microsoft, right? Right? Hey, I'm just saying. Wasn't Concord supposed to be the Overwatch killer?
No, actually, it wasn't. Concord.
I remember. No, don't make me have to pull up the article.
No.
There was an article that said, "Watch out, Overwatch. Concord's coming."
All right, listen. What people are writing in their articles, that's their business. I want to tell you what Sony said or what Herman Hulst expected from it. All right, Herman Hulst did not say it was a Concord. It was a Overwatch killer. Herman Hulst said we were going to build a universe to rival Star Wars. That's what he said.
Isn't he from the same studio that said they were making a Halo killer?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know now. Now you don't know.
Oh man.
Because didn't Gorilla make Killzone?
Was Killzone supposed to be a Halo killer?
Oh, are we gonna do this now?
Yo, Ham, you are
Man,
You are on one today.
I seen the most diabolical handshake last September between Killzone and Concord. They said what up, and yo, they are kicking it now. They're kicking it together. Dead ass kicking it together.
Oh my goodness.
Dead ass.
I'm sure there's more interesting comments at the bottom, but I have to greet everyone else. Fuzzy Tomato, welcome in, says add in like 400 million from Game Pass too. They're making bank. All right, if they're making so much bank, why? Okay, no. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say
go
that.
ahead.
No, because I answered my own question in my mind. My question that I was gonna make to Fuzzy is a dumb question, right? Very emotional. I admit that. I was going to say, if they're making so much bank, why are they putting their games everywhere? And then I remembered these are corporations. They don't want to make some money. They want to make all the money. So, all right, never mind.
They said, but
C4
Halo, he said, but Halo is coming to PS5 now. So who's laughing now? And I'm like, I don't know, probably Microsoft, because y'all paying to get Halo onto y'all service.
Yeah, but
And
let's be
then
honest.
y'all gotta pay again to get. It's not like y'all paying. It's not like Sony's paying for it and it's going on to their subscription service or something like that. Y'all don't. I mean, dare I say it like Kendrick? Y'all not like us. Like, no, y'all not like us. No, you still gotta pay $70 for the game that y'all call ass and not worth purchasing the console for. You say it's not worth purchasing the console for any of these games, but now you're gonna pay $70 for the same things y'all used to call trash. And you're gonna look at me and say ha 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 at it when you're paying full price to play something that I ain't paying full price for ever. I mean, I could pay full price for it, sure. Some of the games I absolutely did, but the thing is I don't have to. If you want to try it, how you gonna try it? You gonna get Game Pass real quick on Xbox and then turn around and buy it on your PS5?
Ham is on one today. This guy is on one.
I'm just saying, you know, like I'm just saying the flex of spending more money than the other person and saying ha ha to me is nuts.
That's not a flex. If you buy, listen, and I saw some really dumb comments from Reforge Gaming today. I'm with him. Usually I like Reforge. He said some of the dumbest things I've ever heard anyone ever say. Not just about gaming, but just about being a consumer. This guy was essentially advocating for us to spend more. He was essentially saying you shouldn't be happy that you're spending less to get quality. I'm like, bro, what?
How about that?
Ham, if you find a
You peel the
defender,
curtains back. Do you see that's what all of this is the entire time? All of this arguing that people are doing is for spending more. Nine out of 10 times, like, oh man, like, what are you doing? It's not quality. And then all of a sudden you figure out, oh man, this sold a ton. Actually, a lot of people liked it. It just wasn't on a platform that was accessible for a lot of people, or it wasn't on a platform that a lot of people were interested in. Game was fine the whole time.
yeah. C4 Skills said PlayStation broke, all the money is coming to Xbox. All right, C4 Skills, I'm gonna need you to chill. All right, sit down. All right, take a breath and reread that sentence. PlayStation broke. That's what you said. But if you look at the article, PlayStation made up 63% of Microsoft's purchases or sales. You can only be one of these two things. You can either be the one that's paying for everything, or you can be broke. You cannot be both. All right? You just cannot be both. Damn, Diego is really going for you, Ham.
You could be stuck in a payday scheme, though.
How
So
so?
where you are constantly spending
Yes.
in order to try to stay somewhat ahead a little bit, right?
Are you saying PlayStation's in a scheme and the schema is Xbox?
I'm not saying that exactly. I'm just saying like there is a way to be paying and be in
broke?
a troubled situation.
No. I was very specific with my words. You cannot be paying, right, and bankrolling Microsoft for a whole month, 63%, and be broke at the same time. You have to be one of the two. Because if you're broke, you're not spending anything. You can't spend anything because you ain't got nothing. But if you're making the majority of the purchases, you ain't broke. You're many things. You might even be in debt, but you're not broke. Matt likes games. Welcome in, brother. Says, I hope PlayStation makes a game that matters to me this year. Okay, let's explore this. Ham? I'm tired of this PlayStation slander. I'm tired.
What do you mean? How is it slander?
Do
That's
you
not
agree?
slander. How is that slander?
All right. Tell me at least one PlayStation game that you're interested in this year.
For me,
Yeah.
if they come out with it, it's Ghost of Yoda.
Why wouldn't they come out with it?
I don't know. There's been plenty of times where games got delayed. You know, like Matt's most anticipated game last year was Avowed. Look at where that is.
Okay.
You know, like,
I'm trying.
I'm sure there are some people that were really excited to play Assassin's Creed last November and took off time of work and everything. And
Damn.
oh, wait, was that you?
No, not for Assassin's Creed. No, I think the last one that I did that for was Cyber. No, it wasn't Cyberpunk. It was Starfield. It was definitely Starfield. You know, I'm trying to think
so
of
like Ghost of Yote. I'm looking forward to that, but like if you're
not like
talking
mad
about
hype.
like shade, if you're just talking about, oh man, I don't like all the shade.
Yeah.
The thing is well, as I've said, a lot of people said Xbox has no games, yada yada yada, forever, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now there's a ridiculous output of games that are coming out for the console, albeit it's coming out. Some of these games are coming out for the PlayStation as well.
Yeah.
Right, but regardless, there's an outflow. There's an output of games at a high rate, right? More than Xbox has probably ever seen, and that's exciting. And I can name a lot of them. Asking over there on the PlayStation side, which everyone's saying, hey, what's the point of getting an Xbox? Why not get a PlayStation? I own both consoles, so I'm out of that argument. Right? I'm literally out of that argument. There's a lot of people that have that argument, and maybe there's sincerity behind it, but in reality, I'm not in that argument because I have both of them and a PC, so I'm completely out of this conversation, right? Of which one should I get? Which one do I depend on? I don't know which one to do. Like, I don't have that problem.
You just play whichever one's popping this month.
I just play whichever one makes sense for the time. And as of lately, I have not played my PlayStation because the last thing I've put on it was Astrobot. Since then, there hasn't been anything unique that came to that console. And then this coming year, the only thing that's unique that I know of is Ghost of Yote. People are speaking about Xbox games as if that makes the PS5 unique. It does not. It just makes it, oh, well, I can play Yote and Xbox games, I guess now. But but for somebody like me that has both of the consoles, I'm only benefiting off getting Yote right now, and that's not that exciting. Like that game is exciting, but but an entire year, I'm in 2025 right now. There hasn't been a showcase yet, so let's be fair to that. So we don't know what to expect exactly, but where I sit right now, there is nothing that the PlayStation 5 has to look forward to other than Yote. Diego, you're saying that's a you problem, but yo, if the shoe was on the other foot, you'd be like Xbox has no games. Because that's exactly what you guys were saying for the entire generation of last gen. So if it was like this
Last
prior,
gen was slow, Ham.
or
Come on.
actually, it was not even that bad last year. And
No,
y'all said,
last gen.
oh, you guys only have one game that you know of in May, and you don't know what the hell is going on in the rest of the year. And y'all threw that in our face the entire year. So now that there's a slate of something to look forward to, we're excited, and you guys are like, don't be that excited. They're coming to PlayStation 2. And then we're like, all right, well, what's going on over at PlayStation that I can get excited about? And it's just Yote, and that's it.
That's it. Death Stranding 2? Nothing?
Oh, I forgot about Death Stranding 2. So I appreciate you for bringing that up. I honestly forgot about that. But that doesn't that even neither one of the games have a release date right now. So it could very well possibly go into 2026 for all we know.
Yeah, it's possible.
So I mean, I want to be excited for PlayStation. I bought a console, so it's not like I bought one just to say I have it. I bought it because I want to use it. But right now, it's just third-party central, and if you're calling Xbox third-party, well, it is what it is. But there's a lot of stuff that I can play there, and I don't have to pay an exorbitant amount of money to play those games day one. I just pay what I've been paying and keep it pushing.
All right. C4 Skills is feeling your cap in Ham. He says, let him know, Ham, they pay, we just play. No, you don't, C4 Skills. You pay that the $20 subscription
Look,
every
you
single
really
month.
are going to go there? You know what he means by that. He clearly means you pay much more, I pay much less. Did he have to spell it out for you? You know what he's saying. Like, Loke, you yourself aren't even paying for all these games on PlayStation because you know this whole scenario and how to take care of your money. You yourself wouldn't even listen to anybody like a Diego in the chat that's saying, screw the Xbox, just get a PlayStation and just pay full price for everything. Look, you don't even do that. You're the first person to go to GG Deals to look for the best deal out there. You're not paying full price for anything.
Oh man, I thought we were friends. I thought we weren't
No,
about
you get
exposing each
doxxed.
other on this channel. But I see that's what we're doing here. I see that's what we're doing. We're here to expose each other. C4 Skill says, look at the top 15 sales on PlayStation, multiple games, no PlayStation games. We saw this is old news, C4 Skills. This is old news. We saw this with the Activision thing. We're done hearing about this. Everyone knows this. All right, the sky's blue, water's wet, and no one buys the exclusives at the same rate that they buy FIFA, Madden, Call of Duty, freaking Red Dead, GTA, etc. All right, it just is what it is. Let me guess, coming from the guy that raised the white flag. All right. Dorian Gray, welcome in. Says, copium, I can smell this copium. Who's copium? Mine or Ham's copium? Who's coping? Who's coping? Anyways, Ham, anything else you want to add on this topic, or can we keep pushing?
I wonder who's gonna be like the next best publisher.
On this article, it said EA second, with about
No, I'm talking
300.
about like in the in the future, right? Because I don't really exactly see Microsoft hurrying or like slowing down right away, right? I feel like the next couple years are probably set,
Locked, probably locked,
right? So
probably locked. Thanks to Call of Duty, it's probably done. Like this thing here, it's like, well, like anyone ask who has more subscribers to their premium video game subscription between Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. It's done. We all know who has it and who's going to have it for the foreseeable future. So yeah, and barring like a big pivot from Sony, Ham, I don't see Xbox not winning this every year.
well, Diego says something interesting. He did say Take Two with GTA 6 this year in particular, or whenever they drop the game. So it could be next year as well, even. But whichever year they drop this game, they could possibly take, because they always have 2K in their back pocket as well. Like
Man.
the basketball games and the wrestling games and golf as well, I believe, right? PGA.
Yeah, but I still don't think I don't think they'll
And
do it, Ham.
tennis.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do it. A lot of people look at the GTA sales and they forget a lot of GTA sales, like most of them that have helped them break these records. It wasn't in any one specific year. GTA has been a behemoth because they've been doing like good to great numbers every single year for
Well,
like a
yeah,
decade.
it's they've been out for 12 years with 5.
Yeah, but every single year they're like in the top 10, top 20 most bought games. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Call of Duty, right? It's actually one of the subjects today. Number one in the US for 16 years.
Yeah,
Did you hear
man.
what I just said?
We'll say that again. Say
Call
it
of
again.
Duty was the US's best selling video game for the 16th year running. Running. So not total. This is a Undertaker level streak that Call of Duty has. It's like a proper stranglehold. That's why I'm saying, and Microsoft will never. Well, I don't think it will, but I don't think Microsoft in next 5 years will just release Call of Duty and then stand pat. That's not going to happen. So just Call of Duty itself outsells most games that come out every year. And then if you start compounding with whatever other ancillary good games that Microsoft puts out, it's reasonable to assume they're going to hit 500 million in sales every single year. Who can beat that? I think that's it's a tall ask. I think it's a tall ask. Matt's interested in Yote, but that's not even my top 5 most anticipated this year.
This
That's
year is
fair.
tough, though. This year
That's
is tough, though. And I'd say a game not making it in your top 10 this year just doesn't mean that it's a bad game by any means. This
Yeah,
year in particular feels
it's
it feels
stacked.
like 2023 on some dope. In 2023 was wild, right? But this year, if they manage to come out with GTA this year, somehow have a Fable come out, somehow have a E-Day come out, Ghost of Yote come out,
Ooh.
a new Switch console come out, which you know they're gonna have a few games
Dude,
for their
Avowed, South
console.
of Midnight, Claire Obscure, and then
Assassin's Creed, bro,
Death
like
Stranding 2. And then we have Hell Is Us. We haven't even brought in Doom.
yeah, Doom, bro. Like I'm just telling you, like this could be not even like bullshitting. Like this could be like the greatest year in
Ooh,
gaming.
Monster Hunter Wilds as well.
Goodness gracious, didn't even think about it. Didn't even cross my mind. This could be the greatest year in gaming.
Ooh,
I mean, look how the year started out. Look how the year
Borderlands
started
4.
out, bro. We got
Ham.
a 90 plus, I'm not sure if it's 90 plus, but we got a star-studded game out of Dynasty Warriors to start the year.
Yeah.
So like this year could be
Another one we didn't mention, Ham. Borderlands 4.
football is gonna be coming out again. Like bro,
Borderlands 4, Ham. We didn't mention Borderlands 4.
Borderlands, bro, like like this year is bananas.
A couple of these games are gonna have to move to next year. Like even if they're done, a couple of these
Ray
games.
G
are
said
gonna be like,
Metroid Prime 4.
oh, fuck. That's crazy. It's crazy. Big Mad Mo coming in here with the slander says looks like
the
PlayStation.
2021 Game of the Year winners are coming out with a new game, Split Fiction, from It Takes Two people. Ninja Gaiden is back as well.
Oh yeah,
coming
Ninja
out with 2
Gaiden.
and 4.
Oh my goodness.
Like this year is diabolical, bro.
And a lot of that's gonna be on Game Pass. I'm just saying. Sour Blow, welcome in. Hello everyone.
That's an uncomfortable fact right there.
Smash the
That's
like
an
button.
uncomfortable fact. Like y'all keep telling us, oh, how bad. Y'all please tell me how horrible I'm doing with my Xbox this year. I'm just saying, I'm kicking back. I must be having a horrible time in gaming. Oh man, Xbox stinks. I got too many games.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lo. Come on, Lo.
Leave me alone. Ron Slash is
I
trolling.
agree with Big Mad Mo. He said Borderlands ain't coming out. I agree with that.
All right. The page says it's actually looking at 2025 release, so we'll see if they're capping.
I don't know where you're at, Loke, but you should probably read this because it is.
Oh, here we go. Drawn TJ, thank you so much for the super chat, bro. Says PlayStation is trash. No games this year from first party. Xbox destroying PlayStation. Don't forget about GTA 6, Civ 7, yes, and many others. I forgot about Civ 7.
Yeah, and Drawn TJ said Turok game as well.
Oh, man. I'm getting uncomfortable having this conversation. Like my wallet's like, I don't know if it's safe for me. Is it safe here? I don't think it's safe. What's this? Ham, they only count first-party games if it's not made by Microsoft or Sony. It doesn't. And that's a dumb way to look at video games. That's just me. Right? I fell in love with the PlayStation for a game that wasn't even first-party. The game that Kojima made. So that's why I never understood. Like, till today, I've never understood this whole... the first party. I just went where the games were at. That's why I got the PS2 because it had the sequel to the Kojima game. I bought the PS3 because they had like the conclusion of Snake's story. Okay, but after that there was nothing else for me. At least it was dry on the PS3, so I didn't lie to myself. I looked to the side. Everyone was having fun in my apartment block with Gears. I was like, I'm gonna get a 360. So we went out and we got 2 360s and we had a blast. We just went where the games were at. Do you know what I mean? So I'll never understand this whole thing where you can only have a conversation. It only counts as a game if it's first party. For me, it counts as a game if I like it. That's all. Matt says I haven't paid $20 for Game Pass once yet. All right, go ahead. Just got 6 months for $50 off a key site. Matt, you see, these are the type of friends that you figure out very quickly they're not your friends, because real friends send their friends links to places like this. Well, that's what real friends do.
Yeah, Matt, go ahead and send that to me,
Don't
asshole.
don't be a traitor, Matt. This is what friendship's about, bruv. Don't listen to these dumb fucks, right? These brokies that want to spend more. Ham,
I'll buy that today.
I saw a study on Forbes that actually highlighted people that spend more on luxury goods. Actually, there's a higher likelihood of them being broke, of them being poor, of
No shit.
them being lower class.
That's because they're always
People,
looking for the next thing.
they're always buying Gucci, they're always buying all of this frivolous stuff. They're not looking for deals on stuff that they have to purchase on a regular basis. You want quality, bro. Get a quality car. The thing that you're gonna buy once. Get quality there. Don't be spending extra money just for a fucking book rack. It's a book rack. What are we doing? It's a video game. Is there a place for you to get the $60 game at 30? Go and buy it at 30. You get Starfield is fun to me. Yeah, true. Uh, it's gonna be what? It's gonna be a fight between Sega, Capcom, Ubisoft, and PlayStation for second place. I don't know, man. I think Ham, maybe you're gonna call me out on this one. I think PlayStation, if they adopt the same thing as Xbox, as in like putting their games everywhere, well, they're kind of doing it now, but they're not doing it for like they're not as aggressive as Xbox are doing it. I think if PlayStation did it, they would become second place in terms of publishers. They can't be first because they don't have the same amount of quantity that Xbox has, but I think that they'd be above Capcom, Ubisoft, and Sega, and even EA. Actually, no, not EA, not EA, because yeah, EA is just Madden and FIFA, and that's crazy. You can't compete with those two. Am I capping? Ham? Ham, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Yeah, so I'm asking you, am I capping?
Nah, I wouldn't say so.
All right.
I think no, I don't think so. It's just that they can afford to kind of stick around that top area, right?
Mm-hmm.
And whenever they kind of feel somebody kind of, treading lightly on them, they could make a move in this dimension faster than they could like in like hardware, right? Because I feel like they're just more comfortable with taking on software, also taking on big projects like that. They're more comfortable than many companies are with, let's give something a shot.
Yeah.
They might be a company that fails more than a company like Sony, but they also have the revenue to continue to try things. And
be
they're
adventurous.
willing to fail on stuff to see if it worked or not.
Mm.
Where a company like Sony is looking at companies like Microsoft to see, is this a failure before I do it, or let me see what they do wrong so I can try to do the right thing when we go to do our similar type of thing. I seen somebody, I think it was Mike Johnson earlier asking me like, how is Sony copying Microsoft if Microsoft's in third place? And I'm like, well, just by sheer size of the company, right? Sheer size of the company, they're allowing Microsoft to take steps in things that they are too afraid to step in themselves, right? Don't think for 1 second Sony doesn't have a million ideas that they want to implement, but they can't, or they don't think it's fiscally responsible to do that because it's just like they have no data of what could work, what does work, and what flat out doesn't work.
Mm.
So there's a lot of reason to kind of hold your cards until somebody else within the industry or in a similar type of industry tries to take such stride. So then I can take apart what they did and try to reconstruct it to work better for ourselves. That's why you see many years now later, Sony trying to implement more into PC than they did prior. Sure, have they done PC before? Yes, they've made PC games prior, but they've never made it their mission to make PC games. Now they have a taste of money of it. They seen that they were being lackadaisical in some areas, and now they're implementing PC even harder before because they see, certain things didn't make any sense. Dragging our feet also didn't make any sense money wise, and that probably made people more likely to what is it called, to pirate their games as well when they put that big ass delay on a game coming out, right? It's like I'm gonna stick it back to you when you do come back over here, because you're gonna try to charge me full price for a game that's been over on another console for a long time. So it's like some people feel like that's kind of a gaslight, right? And it's just like, yo, you're not gonna do that to me. I'm gonna go on ahead and just torrent it or whatever. I don't know. There's just, I think what you're saying with Xbox holding that spot, though, I don't think that's insane to think, but I think that will give a lot of other companies opportunities to try stuff that maybe they weren't pushed to try.
Or they wouldn't be brave enough to try.
Right. So, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting to see in the next few years. At no point has Microsoft had this type of control over content, I think, ever.
Yeah, even when they were at their peak in the 360 days, they didn't have this.
They didn't have control over it. They had a lot of agreements in place. They had a lot of a lot of buddies that they got with, a lot of ease of use with making games for their console and stuff like that. But they didn't have any certainty with really anything other than signing the dotted line. Now they're very much in control of their own destiny, especially with IP. So that's interesting to see, for sure.
Yep. I didn't want to bring up this topic today, but I was just like, you know what? If I don't, Ham's probably gonna stick it in there midway through the show. So I was like, all right, might as well make it a topic. Might as well. So yeah, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Microsoft was the #1 games publisher in the world last year. They're officially third party, but if we're being honest, right? If we're going by the letter of the word, third party is publishing first party games on other platforms. That's it.
Look, it's because Xbox players don't ever buy games, right?
Well, then that also means that PlayStation gamers don't buy games, because
Don't
PlayStation's
do that.
no. I'm using the exact same logic, right? So if they put games everywhere, that means that y'all aren't buying enough games. Well, what's PlayStation doing? They've got games on other platforms, right? And this is what upsets me about the whole situation with PlayStation. I wish they would either stop what they're doing right now and just be like Nintendo and be like, no, we're not porting anything. Just get it on the box, or get the step in, or do a proper like full tilt, just like what Xbox is doing. Because
now PlayStation's the one that's beating around the bush, not Xbox. Which is crazy, right? Because Xbox has always been told about beating around the bush, and what's really Like what am I coming to expect? I don't know. Either I'm expecting games here or there and whatnot. And everybody looked at Nintendo and PlayStation as we know where the games are coming and how they're coming and whatnot. And now Xbox said, we're open and this is what you're going to
Everything's
expect, love
going
it or not.
everywhere.
PlayStation, the entire time Xbox was confusing, and now Xbox came out and like revealed that, hey, we're just like we're everywhere now. PlayStation now kind of like secretly moseyed itself over into a confusion aisle to where people are swearing they're not doing anything weird or doing anything wrong, but it sounds very similar to the end of the Xbox One generation.
It's very strange, but there's some hope. There's some hopium. All right, there's some hopium in the PlayStation stables. Right, I hang out a lot there. Right, I'm just gonna be transparent and honest. Yeah. You can make the sounds. Um, I do hang out there a lot, and with the replacement of Herman Hulst with the new guy, apparently he has a history of favoring first single player games, which it seems like PlayStation was trying to veer away from that for some reason. But we're assuming, right? We're assuming if this guy has not changed his ethos or his outlook on video game development and his vision, right, of what it should be, he's going to take PlayStation back to first party single player games, and he is someone that has come out and actually said in the past that he wants to compete and crush Xbox. Like this guy has leaned heavily into the console war. Like he said some stuff and it's like, wow, he meant that shit.
Wait, who are we talking about?
The new guy, I'm forgetting his name. Yeah. Back in his like Sony middle management days, he said some very fanboyish things.
A long time ago. I thought you were saying he said this recently.
No, he didn't say it now. Back in the day, like when Phil didn't have one white hair on his head, all right. And if we assume, right, that he still has those same roots, those same beliefs, then he's going to come and do what I'm saying I'd like to see Sony do, which is pause everything and be like, all right, no more PC ports. No more PC ports.
They're not doing that. They're doing the opposite of that.
Damn it, Ham. He just got promoted to the position. Let's give him some time. The same way we gave.
They're not going to take money off the table. They're not going to take money back off the table. You said this yourself earlier when you were about to ask a question about Xbox, and then you said, never mind. Now, I want you to ask yourself that same question about this guy.
I would say that PlayStation is different. The same way that my
they
ethos,
don't need money as bad as what you're saying.
No. I'm saying that PlayStation, they still hope that they might have the same ethos under this new leadership that Nintendo has, for example. Because Nintendo,
you cannot do that, Loke.
What?
Loke.
What?
You cannot go and be like, I'm a God-fearing man that is married and happy, and then every once in a while you cheat and be like, I'm still a pretty good guy.
Okay.
You can't keep doing that.
Doing what?
I just got done telling you. You can't tell everybody how God-fearing you are, how you do things the right way, how you ain't gonna cheat on or do nothing bad with your family or nothing like that, and then you go do some weird fuck shit, and then people find out about it, and then you're like, no, I'm God-fearing, I'm good.
Okay, how does this fit with
because you're saying that they still believe that there's an ethos that they can be, like Nintendo, but then they keep flirting and doing things Microsoft's kind of do.
Yeah.
But then
So what
they
I'm
but then they
saying,
reel it back in and go back to Nintendo strategy, and I'm just like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
yeah. So what I'm saying is we have to look at the picture in totality. So first off, right? First off, that's why I'm saying we have to look at the dude that just got appointed as like sole CEO. His past suggests that that's what he believes in. Obviously, you can have your own beliefs, but when you're in a position, a management position, I think everyone here or most of us have been in positions where you believe in something, but because of your position in the chain of your organization, it's like, yeah, I don't want to do this, but I have to do it because this is the decision of people that are even higher up the chain, right? What I'm saying is this guy's personal ethos that has been documented is of someone with the Nintendo like outlook of gaming. Now this person has been put in a position of great power. There's potential there for him to roll things back. That's all I'm saying. That's all I've been hearing people hopiuming, right? People call it hopium now. Hopiuming in the stables. And for me, I don't think that's crazy because yes, PlayStation was moving in one direction, right? It's been moving in a certain direction. There's new leadership. It is completely possible that new leadership brings a new direction. That's all I'm saying. That's not so crazy. And if we're going to go to your analogy, Ham, that's the same as saying, right? The dude, he says he's God fearing, has a wife, cheats on her, right? They get divorced. She marries someone else. Anything can happen.
Okay, but let me put this out there. Person that reports on gaming quite a bit, I'd still say, regardless, whenever you hear stuff like this, take it with a grain of salt. But they usually report properly, right?
Yeah.
Genki, you've heard of Genki.
Yes, yes.
He put out a post earlier that says Sony president Hiroki Totoki says he wants to go aggressive in improving margins by growing first party with multi-platform PlayStation. In the past, we wanted to popularize console, and the first party title's main purpose was to make the console popular. It is true, but there is a synergy to it. So if you have a strong first party content, not only with our console, but also other platforms like computers, first party can be grown with multi-platform, and that can help operating profit to improve. So that is another one we want to proactively work on. I personally think there are opportunities out there for improvement of margins. So excuse me, I would like to be aggressive in improving our margins performance. So with that being said, that doesn't sound like somebody that's backing away from PC.
Well, shit. I hadn't seen that quote.
And
Dan
then he
Dave.
also says, let me continue.
Okay.
Then he also, okay, wait. Okay, so this is, okay, got it. Done.
Sorry?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Dorian Gray is disputing and saying Hiroki Totoki says differently. Or maybe you're saying that to me. I think you're saying that to me. Poison Maniac says, yeah, Hiroki Totoki won't let that slide. Okay, what is nonsense, Dorian Gray? What I was saying. Yeah, but yeah, Ham.
No. What he's saying is nonsense is going to PC and then packing it back up and saying, we're not doing this again. We're not doing this anymore. New relationship, we're not doing this anymore. He's saying that that would be insane to do. I believe. Yeah, he just said yes.
All right, Roger that. Y'all just love bursting my bubble.
Man,
Sapo says,
I mean, give me some fucking golf shoes and show me where the bubble is.
because of the
Step it on
spikes.
it.
Okay. Sapo says, don't watch what Sony says. Watch what Sony does. Asking Sony to change is believing if a zebra can change its stripes. Okay. It's a lot of Sony hate in the chat, but all right, that's fine. I think we're good on this subject that Microsoft was the #1 publisher in the world. Yes, Ham?
I'm sorry, I seen something horrible. What did you say?
I'm saying I think we're good on the whole topic of Microsoft being the #1 publisher.
Yeah, man, I've been good on that one. We just kept sidebarring.
That's true. That's also true. All right. Just to reinforce, right, the point that we discussed earlier, Call of Duty was the US's best-selling video game for the 16th year running.
We get it, Luke. We get it.
Guys,
get it. Xbox is
no.
doing fine. Can we move on?
No, we can't move on, Ham, because the same way. Listen, and I try to be fair.
I'm trying to be fair. I'm an Xbox fan. I'm tired of hearing this shit. Like, can we
No.
talk about something else?
No, let me tell you why I'm being fair by bringing this up and actually delving into this motherfucker. All right, if
My goodness.
if this was an Xbox L, right? If this was a Call of Duty L, I would be digging deep. Pause. Very deep. And I'd be taking my time with it. All right? So I think it's only fair when an insane record is set. I don't even know who was keeping track of this. Like when they did it 10 times in a row, 12, 13, I don't know who was keeping track. All I'm saying is, ladies and gentlemen, I'm confident this has never been done before. I'm confident there's no game that's ever been on top in terms of year-on-year sales. I'm not talking about like total sales like GTA did. No. I'm talking about releasing a game every freaking year and not only making a profit, not only doing great numbers, but beating everyone else. This has never been done. So we're going to get into this article. According to new data published by Circana for December 2024 and the entire year, Black Ops 6 was the best-selling game in the US in terms of dollar sales. As such, according to Circana, Call of Duty remains the best-selling video game franchise in US full game dollar sales for a record 16th consecutive year. Last month, following the release of its November 2024 data, Circana declared that EA Sports College Football 25 had become the best-selling sports game ever in the US. What? Let's read this again. Last month, following the release of its November 2024 data, Circana declared that EA Sports College Football 2025 had become the best-selling sports game ever in the US. More than Madden. Okay, that's crazy. That's insane. This still wasn't enough to dethrone Call of Duty over the course of the entire year, however, meaning EA's game had to settle second place. Okay, they're going into the market and everyone else. I just want to say 16 years. #1 every single year. That's insane. Matt says a lot of CEOs have said things they've completely abandoned. At the end of the day, he's got the job to make Sony money. They aren't gonna let him roll things back just to make less money. We can dream. I guess not. I guess we can't dream. Dorian Gray says college football was massive. Yeah, okay, okay. And yet college football was completely ignored at the Game Awards. College football should have been Sony exclusive, Fuzzy. If college football was Sony exclusive, it would have won. It would have won something. But yeah, one more time, ladies and gentlemen, for everyone at the back, even for Ham that's taking a nap right now. Call of Duty was the US's best-selling video game for the 16th year running. That's crazy. That's crazy. And I'm like a COD hater. I enjoyed this last campaign, but after seeing that article, I will forever put respect on the name of Call of Duty. Forever. Because 16 years is wild. That's beyond good. Or great. That's beyond great. Alright. Before Ham falls asleep here with me just slobbering all over COD, let's move on to another sports game. One that neither me nor Ham played last year. Actually, no. Ham did play MLB The Show. Ham, you did play it via Game Pass, right?
I played 24 on Game Pass for just a little bit, just to try out the Negro League thing.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned something about that.
That was it. Like I'm not into baseball games. Never really have been. I liked Slugfest back in the day, but that was not because it was a baseball game. It was because it was a wild ass baseball game, you know?
Yeah. So here we go. MLB The Show 25 is coming in March, but it won't be on Game Pass or last gen consoles. The game. Okay, so this year's release entry will be the first not to launch on Xbox Game Pass on day one since the franchise debuted on Microsoft's consoles with MLB The Show 21. It also marks the end of support for PS4 and Xbox One. Sony previously said the decision to put its internally developed baseball series on Game Pass was made by license holder the MLB. In a series first, the box of this year's game will feature 3 cover stars. They are Pittsburgh Pirates Paul Skenes, Cincinnati Reds shortstop Ellie De La Cruz, and Baltimore Orioles shortstop Gunnar Henderson. How is it these guys and not the Japanese dude? I'm forgetting his name. Shohei Otani. Why is it not Otani? It should be Otani on the thing by himself. I don't like. Anyways, this is not a baseball discussion. This is about a game that's been on Game Pass since for like 3-4 years. It's not there anymore. Ham,
What up?
would you like to speculate on why it's not on Game Pass?
I don't really know, to be honest. I mean, because I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, so you're not even
So
keeping
it's
up with
hard
it.
for me to speculate like why this isn't there, other than maybe it's not that, I don't know, exciting. I'm sure it was I mean, because if you look at the games that are coming out this year, maybe it was something that they weren't really willing to pay for the results that they were getting with the game. Maybe Microsoft wasn't really willing to pay for it. Maybe they seen that, hey, this isn't pulling people over like that, but hey, we're about to get college football in the EA Play, and that will pull people over more than the show did, and we don't need that sports game there. Like, maybe it's a thing where it's like, hey, it's not day and date anymore, but it is coming a little bit later. We're just gonna see if it sells copies first and try to maybe wean people off of expecting it day and date and give them the opportunity to buy it first, and then all of a sudden, bam, it's on the service, right? Because there's been plenty of times where that's happened to me with other games where I just ran out and bought it, and then 2-3 months later it's coming on Game Pass, and I'm like, damn, like I didn't like this game like that.
Ooh.
Like you know what I'm saying?
Oof, like I could have just played this on Game Pass.
Exactly. Like there's been so many times where and there's probably a lot of people out there that buy a video game and they just don't look back, right? But I'm the kind of person that, like, if a video game, if I paid full price for a video game near the launch, or maybe even a little while after the launch, and I really liked that game, so I was willing to pay full price for it, and it didn't hit like I thought it would, then on top of that, I see it coming into a subscription service. I mean, who wouldn't think, God damn it, you know? Like, who wouldn't think that way? Like, like, look, can you tell me the last game that you've bought that you were and that went into like a subscription service, that being Game Pass or PlayStation Plus or whatever, and you were just like, man, like this game ain't that nice. Like I should have just waited.
I'm a bit more judicious with my money, if I'm being honest. I can't remember the last time. I know it's happened before. I'm sure it's happened before, but I'm looking at my last few purchases. We're talking about what? Remnant, Dark Souls, the Dark Souls saga, like games that ended up on Game Pass. I'm guessing like Yakuza, Remnant, Tales of Arise.
I feel like Game Pass has been ahead of a lot of your thinking.
Sorry?
I feel like Game Pass has either been ahead of a lot of your thinking.
Oh, yes,
or,
definitely.
And here's another thing that's been troubling you as well, your backlog.
Fuck, bro. I'm trying to get through that. Like, I'm trying to be serious about that.
But even with that mentioned, you know that there has been times for you that you've bought something you were like, ugh.
I'm not sure.
Like I bought that fresh when the game came out. I never played it, and then it came out on Game Pass, and then you go to play it, and then you're like, you find out it wasn't even all that.
That wasn't great. Yeah, true. I'm sure it's happened before. I just can't remember because, like, I think the last 6 months I've been like really hitting Elden Ring hard, and also just been playing like the creme de la creme, freaking Warhammer, you know, just like the great games. So yeah, I can't think of anything right now, but I do remember that feeling of being like, damn it, this game is on Game Pass. I just bought it. But yeah, they've done a better job of telegraphing games that are going to Game Pass that are new.
I can tell you that for several games.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, let me go to my library real quick.
All right, while you do that, if PlayStation, Ty, welcome in. If PlayStation became a publisher, Xbox would still make more money. Xbox has COD, Minecraft, multiple live service games like Diablo. Sony would only surpass them on certain years. Yeah. We actually did agree on this, Ty. We I posited the idea to him, and we agreed. I think even the chat agreed that even if PlayStation also went full third party, because they're already third party, but if they went full third party, it still wouldn't be enough to surpass Microsoft. Go ahead, Am.
Modern Warfare 3, Diablo 4. Let me keep going. I'm trying to Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
You're right.
Any of these Assassin's
I'm gonna
Creed.
stop you there. Ham. Diablo 4. I also bought Diablo 4 because of the hype and whatever. I quickly jumped on and quickly jumped off. I wish I'd waited to just get it on Game Pass. Yeah. I remember.
Ark Survival Ascended, and you know how much I love Ark. I wish I would have just waited for it to come on Game Pass, to be honest. Like, I didn't. And I bought it twice.
Wow.
It came on Game Pass.
What happened? Wait. What happened with Ark? I don't understand. What happened?
Well, Survival Evolved is the old regular one that I put a lot of time into, so I didn't mind when I purchased that. But Survival Ascended was like the remake of it in Unreal Engine 5. and I wish I would have just waited. Like I said, there's a remake, so it wasn't even that
It's the
special.
same game.
So it's the same game, and I bought it. I spent $120 on it essentially, and it came into Game Pass like a month and a half after release. So it was just like,
$120.
yeah, buddy. Far Cry 6 is another one. Far Cry 6
Wait,
is
Far Cry
another
6
one.
is on Game Pass.
I wish I would have just waited for it to go into Game Pass, but I bought that day one.
Far Cry 6 is on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Okay.
You getting excited?
Nah, dude, I don't even lie to myself anymore because I know, like, I have an Excel sheet of what I still need to play. Like, I'm only going to make exceptions for like the truly excellent games this year. Everything else, I'm sorry, you're going to the backlog. But yeah, carry on with your list.
I'm actually kind of happy I bought It Takes Two. I was gonna say It Takes Two, but I'm actually kind of happy about that. College football. I'm not sure if I'm very happy that I bought that game, and I bought that game twice.
Oof.
It's not a
But you
bad
played it a
game.
lot,
Like it's a fun game. It's good and all, but it's so. I feel like I was really excited, and it ended up being more generic than it should have been.
You expected more.
I expected more pageantry off the field. Like there was a lot of pageantry on the field, which matters most, right? But like when you win the Heisman Trophy for busting your ass, and all they give you is a pop-up note that says congratulations, you won the Heisman, and then it's off the screen and forgotten about.
Damn.
It feels so worthless.
Oof.
It didn't feel like I really won anything. But if I go 19 years prior to NCAA football 06 Race for the Heisman by EA Sports as well, there's a ceremony with my guys sitting down. They show the top 3 contestants. I stand up when I win. I walk up to the podium. I hoist the trophy above my head, and it says, "You won the Heisman Trophy."
That's it.
It's to me, that's not that much, but that's the kind of like level of detail that I'm just looking for. Like I went through the whole process. You asked me to make my characters, see what they look like, and all of this stuff. You asked me to hit these milestones, get these yards, become a Heisman Trophy winner, just to give me a quick pop-up to say, "Congrats, bro. Nice work."
Like you're getting an SMS, like an SMS.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine winning a Golden Globe or an Oscar and just getting a text from like
Damn.
Quincy Jones just being like, "Nice job, brother."
Well done.
Yeah, like you just you just won the Super Bowl, and Obama, Trump, or Biden, whichever one you like, you pick. I don't give a shit. Whichever one you like, you pick. Just tosses you a quick text saying, "Nice work, buddy."
Yeah.
Like, dude, it just wouldn't feel that special. Like sure, the text would be cool, and actually that would be more special than what you're getting in this game. That's for sure, right? Because that came from a real person. This in the game, it just feels like it just feels like such an afterthought, right?
Yeah.
And it's something that you're literally working for in the game, like the entire time. And it's the hardest thing to attain in the game.
Yeah.
The hardest thing to attain is the least exciting, and it's just, to me, that's bothersome. But anyways,
You were really looking forward.
Need for Speed Unbound.
Oh,
I went
no.
all the way in on college football. I didn't even mean to.
Don't you dare bring up Need for Speed Unbound, Ham.
Need
Don't
for
you
Speed
dare.
Unbound is a great game, but I could have waited to play that on Game Pass. Sorry. It's another game that I bought that I just gotta wait.
That's another game that I need to re-buy on Steam and beat it again.
It was really good.
Very good.
But I mean, I can keep going, but then I'll have to like look at because right now I'm just looking at my PC games right here. I'd have to turn on my console and look because I have a bunch of games from the Xbox One, 360, yada yada. So like, there's a lot of games that I wish I would have just waited for it to come on Game Pass, but I didn't, and I bought it because we buy games as well, but there's so many times where I wish like I would have just, given it a try or waited a little bit or something to then made sure that my purchase went to something good instead of it being in a forever. Oh my God. Like fucking like one game that drives me nuts to this day that will never get out of my backlog ever. It's never going to get beaten.
What's this?
Watch Dogs Legion.
Oh yeah, no thank you.
Forget about it.
No thank you.
Forget about it. But that's the prettiest game that I never want to play.
Yeah.
Because it looks great. It looks fantastic. But then you play it, and not only are the missions and everything silly and dumb, but just the interactions with people on the street gets under my skin.
Damn.
Like just the way people talk to each other and interact, it pisses me off.
It's just bad. It's like you bringing that up is like traumatizing. Well, it's not really traumatizing because I didn't buy it, but I still remember seeing it and being triggered. But yeah, I ended up buying it for my kid, not for me though. But
Yeah,
my
that's
youngest,
a game that I wish I could return all the way back to heaven.
those are the type of games that return policies were created, because a whole bunch of people would have returned that game after like 6-7 hours and figuring out that it doesn't get better as you continue to play it. Because that realization, that's what really ruins everything. All right. Before we talk about BioWare, we have to finish this whole saga with PlayStation games going to PC. It seems like once there's a crack in the dam, it just keeps flowing. So here we go. What the hell? Did it not transition? Okay, there it is. Koei Tecmo's PS5 exclusive is officially coming to PC. So
Yeah.
just to be clear, this was not a first party game. This was just another third party game. All right. We don't know if this was money hatted or
Even if it was a first party game, it's still coming to PC.
okay, Ham. Okay.
We know. Well, like, look. Let's not act like that's not the truth, though.
All right, Ham, are you excited to play
Hell no.
Rise? Sorry?
No. I'm not gonna play that game.
That's it?
I wasn't interested in it when I first seen it that much, and now that there's other games, I'm even less interested in it. Like, I'll tell you right now, I'd probably rather play the first Berserker over this, and you know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
But like, I'm more interested in like Phantom Blade Zero and like the Ninja Gaiden 4 and other Koei Tecmo games. Even the latest Dynasty Warrior seems more interesting than that. So yeah, I'm just that specific one is that specific IP from that group. I'm just not interested in. I don't even think it's anything that they did wrong. It's just I'm not interested in that.
Well, I played it like day one, right?
Did you like it?
And No, no.
Why? What was wrong with it? Like I'm literally interested. Like I'm not trying to be an ass. I'm interested in why you didn't like that game because I was thinking, for me it just reminded me of not Black Myth, Wu Chong. What was it? Um,
Yeah, Wu
Wolong
Chang. Wu
Fallen
Chang.
Dynasty. It reminded me of Wolong Fallen Dynasty, but
Okay.
very much more
Easier.
open.
Okay, so it's easier than Wolong.
You think you say it's easier too?
Yeah, it's easier than Wolong.
Wow. I didn't think Wolong was that hard, to be honest. Sekiro
Well,
was harder than Wolong.
well, it's easier than Wolong. That's what I will tell you. Yeah, Sapo, you hit that one on the head. There's something off about that game, man. There's something off about Rise of
Yeah,
Ronin.
Sabo says it looks horrible. A lot of people thought it didn't look that great.
It felt the sword fighting. It felt, I wouldn't say floaty, but it didn't have that the same feel of like Ghost of Tsushima, you know. And then
Just like
the
the purposefulness.
no, like the actual feeling of swinging the sword, and then when it would make contact either with the enemy's sword or with the enemy's body, it just didn't feel right. Something was off.
Like
You know how
mushy?
people not no, but like uh, it's like a dance, dude. When two objects collide, right? And let's stick to this example of the sword versus the body of the enemy. When two objects collide, there's a dance that happens. It's 2 seconds. It's 2 milliseconds, right? But if it's done correct, the rhythm of I swung my sword and I sliced this dude, it makes a connection in your brain, and then your brain's like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Let's keep going. Rise of Ronin, the fight specifically, for me, the fight specifically, something was off. My brain kept telling me something's off here. The rhythm doesn't make sense. The fights themselves, they didn't feel, I wouldn't say choreographed, but they felt not, they weren't tactile. Do you know what I mean? Again, my brain just keeps saying it felt off.
Did it feel like because what you're explaining sounds like you didn't really feel like you could stretch your legs. It sounds like it felt like you had a finite amount of ways of doing stuff and none of them felt very satisfying.
Yeah, it didn't feel satisfying
Like
to do
because there's
any of
because there's a finite amount of ways to do stuff in Rise Son of Rome, right? But each one of them ends with a massive amount of satisfaction.
Here we go. Collision mechanics. Yes, Sapo. Collision mechanics. Thank you for giving me the correct
So
words.
yeah. I mean, that's essentially
That's
what
the
I'm talking
problem.
about right now with like
Yeah.
the collision mechanics of Rise of Ronin were amazing.
No, of Ghost of Tsushima were amazing.
Well, I mean,
Not
yeah, I mean, sure, if we're gonna keep it in sword games, and yeah, then Ghost of Tsushima, and I'd even say some classic Assassin's Creed games.
yes. Even the parkouring, it was amazing. When the character would be climbing, it was awesome. The collision mechanics were very off for me on Rise of Ronin. And I know, Ham, that we have this meme on the channel where I'm the guy that cares about like story more than the game itself, but I also have to enjoy the game. I have to enjoy the fighting, which is a big part of Rise of Ronin. And yeah, I did not I wasn't having fun. and I'm not the type to stick it out just because you know it's a new game and it's trending. I hop on, I'll play for 2 or 3 hours. If I'm not feeling, I'm out, and I definitely wasn't feeling that game. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the
that
nice thing about. Have you tried this game in the background yet? Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden only back in the day. I haven't tried the new one yet.
I think you playing it now
Yeah.
would have a ridiculous amount of fun compared to maybe a few years ago. Just because of all the different sword games that came out
Yeah.
and the fairness versus the unfairness. Now, your experience may vary if you play like an older Ninja Gaiden. Like if
Mhm.
you play like the original Sigma like I did, or like even the older 2 or
It's a bit rougher.
or Sigma 2, which everybody says don't play, like flat out don't
Mhm.
play it. But especially since 2 Black is out now, there's no reason to really play it. I think you'll really appreciate just how the action takes place and the kind of options that they give you. And I think that's going to probably be your favorite part, man, because you can go from a sword to a staff to like Wolverine, claws in the matter of seconds. Like you can just switch whenever you want.
Mm.
Switch to this, switch to that. Oh, I don't like the way this is feeling right now. I'm gonna switch to dual swords instead of single sword. Oh, I don't like dual swords. I'm gonna go to staff. I don't like staff. I'm gonna go to nunchucks.
I think I'm gonna probably try these claws that are on the screen right now. Those look
Dude,
nice.
these claws are, man. I was thinking to myself while I was playing this little part. While I was playing it, I was like, man, if Wolverine feels anything like this, it's gonna be a problem. Because like if you just look at me right here, I'm creating paintings.
Yeah.
I'm creating paintings on the wall, and it is phenomenal. And then they have this cool little animation after you get done fighting where he like takes both of his fists and he just like kind of like rings off his hands real quick, and you can just see the blood splatter hit the ground, and it's like, oh damn.
These guys know who their audience is, huh?
Facts. And I think you will respect the hell out of that whenever you play it. I highly recommend that you just hop in to Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. Just hop straight into that one. See if you like it, and if you really enjoy it, then maybe go backwards and forwards and whatever. But I'm gonna tell you right now, the story is in all of them. None of them are like really
Terrible.
like you love the story as much as you love as much as you allow yourself to love it, I guess.
Okay, but the story is not terrible.
The story isn't the worst, but it's also not the most intriguing. It's more or less like
I played Stellar
this-
Blade. It doesn't have to be an Oscar worthy game. I played Stellar Blade.
No, it's no. Like the story is more or less like the way it kind of pushes you is it's kind of like when you see a new story segment, you're like, son of a bitch, I got to deal with that. like it's one of those types of stories where it's not like, oh, that's intriguing. It's like, oh no.
A lot of work for me to get through.
Yes.
All right. I'll put it downloading before I go to bed today. Timmy, welcome in. Timmy says, "What's up, Ham and Loke?" Sapo says I'm trying Ghosts of Tsushima, but the story just isn't doing it for me. You fight something, then talk, acting. You sneak around a little bit, then talk, acting. I just don't care for it. Sapo, I would say, Ham, you've also finished Ghost of Tsushima. Tell me if I'm capping. I would say, Sapo, that's not a fair representation of Ghost of Tsushima. There is a fair amount of talking and acting. I'm not saying that's a lie. but there is a gigantic amount of like just actual video games and fighting and the jewels, Sapo. Like I'm talking about the jewels right now. Just thinking about it, I think I'm just gonna buy Ghost of Tsushima on Steam as well, and replay the game on my PC. You know those classic movies we used to watch, or even classic animes with the samurai, where there's like an iconic scene, and then like I don't know, the petals are falling down, or the sakura petals are falling down slowly, and then you have these two samurai facing off. I'm telling you, Ghost of Tsushima nails it. And it's not just the once or twice, it's a whole bunch of times. Trust me. Trust me.
No, the
Ham?
presentation's right there, but I mean, I'm not gonna completely write off Sapo. There are some moments where it's just like if you're not invested into the story, then it can kind of feel like a drag. But the story is really good if you're invested in it. There was some beats to the story where I was just kind of like, meh. But then when it got to like a big boss or a big, moment, or that woman that you help,
Yeah.
like those to me were big story beats, so it was like really entertaining for those moments. But there was a few moments that had me a little puzzled. There was one where you find out this woman or this person talks about getting how they got robbed or whatnot, and then you find out she's kind of capping a little bit, like there's those parts in the game where it's just kind of like, I don't care, whatever.
All right. But did you do the duels?
But it was a top-notch story in my opinion. Presentation, like Loke says, with the the petals coming to the ground, the wind showing you direction on where to go, the way that the guy pops his sword out before a battle, like little moments like that, like really put that game in its own kind of dimension, where like now I'm looking forward of Ghost of Yote. But the thing is it's a little it's a little nerve-wracking because you don't have the same character now, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, now I have to gain I have to gain affinity for a whole new character, and I don't know. I'm not saying that it can't be done, and I'm not even saying that it's super hard to do exactly, but I'm just saying like Jin was so good. That was such a great character to be, right?
Yeah.
This is, in my opinion, what they're trying to do. What they're trying to do with Ghost of Tsushima to Ghost of Yote is what Borderlands is trying to do, and they still have not figured out how to replace Handsome Jack. And sure, I'm talking about a protagonist versus an antagonist, but they're both just as important. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a tricky obstacle to clear.
Because you see, they tried to put some Handsome Jack into Borderlands 3 by, and I'm not even talking about the DLC. I'm just talking about the main characters, the two antagonists that you go versus, the brother and sister. They tried to put that kind of Handsome Jack feeling in it, and it just didn't work.
Yeah,
it didn't work at all. Like Handsome Jack was perfect as a single person by himself, and what was great was his kind of Joker-ish kind of. He kind of had a Joker kind of like persona-ish, right? Where he like everything was a game to him. Everything was a game to him.
But he
and
kept it
he
corporate
wanted
as
you to
well.
feel small. So when they tried to do it again in the next game with the two antagonists, they both looked small trying to be big. And it just didn't work.
Yeah. I even forgot that those twins were the antagonists of of Borderlands 3. Oh man.
And they stunk separated. Like when the brother got separated from the sister and then he ended up fighting, he ended up proving that he was pretty much just a bitch. And then when the sister was separated from the brother, she was just salty the entire time and then completely changed who she kind of was when she fought you. And it was like you didn't even feel like you were fighting the same person anymore.
Yeah. Um Raichi with the slander says Gears of War is trash. It's shoot, 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 talk, 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 acting, 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 cry because buff dude number 2 dies. Prince, rinse and repeat. All right, we see what you're doing, Raichi. We see what you're doing.
Disrespectful.
Very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. Yeah. Moving on to the last topic of the
Dorian Gray
night.
spitting
What
facts
is
there
what,
at
what
the
did he say?
bottom. Says Borderlands died to me
Oof.
when they killed Maya. I don't disagree with that. When they killed
Speaking-
Maya, I about quit playing the game.
Did he?
Why'd you say did he?
Did he? That's what I wanted
Who's
to say.
he? And what
Dorian Gray. Dorian Gray.
Oh yeah, Dorian Gray said
Just 'cause of Maya.
that, no. He said that Borderlands died to him when they killed Maya. I said I almost quit playing.
Almost. Okay.
Yeah, I almost had to pack it up, but that game ended up being ass after. Ever since that scene ended, the rest of the game was ass after that. It was really disappointing.
Speaking of franchises
Badass,
potentially
too, like
dying,
curdly, gross, like nasty, like double the roll ass. Like it was like I know how you be thinking, Lo. This ass was not to be touched.
just say it was overweight ass. Then that's it. That's all you gotta say. And I'm
No,
out.
how about this? It was entirely too petite ass.
Oh, all right. No thanks.
Yeah, skeleton.
No. We call them flat screens around
It
here.
hurts when she
Anyways,
sits in your lap.
yo, you can feel like the pelvic bones. Oh, I apologize to all the white ladies watching this. Anyways, speaking of franchises that are dying or potentially dying, BioWare confirms it's downsizing as it doesn't require support from the full studio for Mass Effect. Ham, me and you have never developed a video game before. So I just want to put a disclaimer out there that everything we're about to say, right, is pure speculation. Because whether you're positive on this news or negative, unless you've actually been involved in these types of projects, we can't really be sure about the effect this is going to have. That being said, Ham, what's your take on this headline?
I'm gonna turn that off every time I realize it's on.
Sorry?
Oh my god, I hate that.
What just happened?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. So what was your question? I'm sorry, I got blindsided by something.
All right, so I just finished giving a disclaimer out there that we've never developed a video game. So everything we're going to speak on regarding this topic is pure and utter speculation. So what are your thoughts on BioWare confirming it's downsizing as it doesn't require support from the full studio for the development of Mass Effect, the continued development of the next Mass Effect game?
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
So this is a good thing.
I think it is, yeah. And it, like not in the sense of people and jobs and the industry and yada yada, right? But more in the sense of direction in the game, right? Like I
Yeah.
think this is good for the game. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like because I just think when you get too many cooks in the kitchen, especially for like certain type of RPG games, you get sometimes you'll get a flavor in a game that just doesn't taste right. And especially if with this specific article, it's talking about what happened recently, that being with Dragon Age Velgard, right? Which I
Mm-hmm.
thought was a good game with some like to be honest, I thought it was a good game, right? But I felt like it definitely did itself a disservice multiple times for what felt like no reason. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It stepped on rakes like I've been doing for a week.
Yeah, like I just don't understand
Unnecessary
why.
rakes.
I just don't understand why it would do that. Like, and I don't understand what the point is with like some of these gaming
Inclusion.
companies like I understand you want to take a more progressive approach, but whatever happened to subtlety,
Yeah.
right? We have no problem calling out anything if it feels subtly racist, if it feels subtly anything, right? We have no problem calling something out when it's subtly something or just barely something, right?
Or it can be misinterpreted and then everyone runs with it.
Right. So if people are doing that with very subtle things, why would you go out of your way to do something that a large piece or a large amount of people will find a problem with? Whether they actually have a problem with that particular subject or not, you're giving people ammunition to then lock on to you and be like, I found the problem. Whether this is a problem enough for that person to not buy the game or not, it's just a problem that's just out in the ether for somebody to have to deal with.
Yeah. You don't want to give people reasons not to buy your product.
Right. And you gave them more, you gave people multiple
Tons.
reasons, and with
Tons.
and with giving them multiple reasons, you doubled down on why you did it instead of being like, "Oh, I didn't notice," right? Like sometimes it's probably smarter to act like you didn't even realize you did something stupid.
Yeah.
Sometimes as a business, you shouldn't act like a human. But too many of these businesses are trying to be humanized, and it directly affects their business that is not, in fact, a human. And then they're like, why are morals running my company? And it's because you led the company with morals.
Instead of data.
Exactly. So, I mean, like, and I'm not even saying that's a bad thing, but let's stop with the, oh, I'm going to complain now because my morals sat in and I didn't get the return I had anticipated with showing people how I feel.
Yeah.
Right? That's not the people's fault. That's your fault. You put your own information out there. You let everybody know how you feel, what you do, who you holding hands with, who you loving on. So it's just like, now that you did that, well, you're gonna get criticism for it. Whether it's right or not, you opened that box. Nobody else did. And the thing is the game, that we're talking about, that I'm talking about being Dragon Age in this particular sense,
Mm-hmm.
that game had a history of, its own set
Yeah,
um of
it had a
of
progressive
of of, of
outlook.
liberal ideals. It already had its set of liberal and conservative ideals that it went with, right?
Yes.
You changed more of it to make sense for something that didn't need to to be going for, right? People already had an understanding of, hey, there are, LGBTQ things in this game already, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now you're dancing it in front of my face as if it makes sense within the game, when I'm looking at it as a person that ain't got a motherfucking problem with nobody out here. I got, family members that have to deal with this type of stuff. And, hey, live your own life. I don't care. But when you try to convince me that something makes sense in the story when it clearly doesn't, then I'm sorry. When people have a problem, don't look at me. I ain't gonna help you. Because I just looked over the criteria myself and said, why am I worried about your pronouns when the world is about to fall apart? I'm sorry, but that's not on the docket of shit we need to figure out right now. It isn't.
Damn.
That, to me, that's like an end game type of thing that you can do, right?
Yeah.
If you wanted that in the game, I don't even say I'm not even here to tell you don't put it in the game. I'm saying, hey, you beat the game, there's more missions to do, or there's a DLC expansion or
Here's
something
some
like
extra
that,
shit.
to where it makes sense for you to implement this part, but not when the world is on the brink of collapse. That doesn't make any sense. So
Yeah.
yes, I look at this and see some of the downsizing, and to me, I think the downsizing of this whole BioWare thing for Mass Effect is kind of trimming the shit that just didn't make sense to be in the game. Shit
It's a
like
good point.
shit like that happened in Belgard. Things that just were in the game for the sake of being in the game, but didn't really do anything to push the story forward.
Yeah. And just to quickly add to your point, because I don't want to belabor the point, the topic matters because the people think it matters. So while Ham might think it's important, right? They put Ham as the director of Halo, and then Ham is like, I would like to highlight the importance of gun control in Halo. Unfortunately, right? If you agree with them, unfortunately, if the gamers decide that is not a topic they care about, that does not matter, then I'm sorry, it does not matter. Because we 2024, 2023 were years for us to, you know, admire the consequences of saying, I don't care what the gamers think. And then you look at the other side and the people that are like, okay, what do you guys want? And then just deliver exactly what the people want. It was there for everyone to see in black and white, unless you wanted to pretend you were blind. Tai says it depends. Look at 343, they had to get rid of everyone and then restart, which was good for the studio in terms of direction. BioWare could be the same.
It could
It's,
be.
yeah, yeah, that's a good
It
point.
could be. All these studios are named. The people that were there prior and all this
Gone,
stuff doesn't matter.
gone. Most of them are gone also, Ham.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, man. Ain't nobody looking at Activision and thinking of the 80s.
No. or even like the early 2000s. That's it's not what's there anymore. Sapo, I would say, right? I would say the reason why they hate it is because people don't like being called out for their shit. That's all I want to say. Oh my God, Dorian Gray, jeez. Uh, yes, Poison Maniac. It calls for balance. I think I agree with this point. You don't want to be too much data. You also don't want to be too much morals. You want to have a healthy mix. I think that's important. But at the end of the day, I think the whole thing about less cooks in the kitchen, like Ham was saying, is very important. Because you look at Kojima, even Neil Druckmann, and all the other, like the dude that makes the FromSoft games, etc. Uh, games are projects at the heart of it. Games, right? They are a project. Each one is a project. And as someone who has supervised and even watched a couple of projects unfold in front of me and then had to evaluate, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, projects need leads, and the lead needs to be one, which is why when Sony announced the co-CEO thing, remember him? I was like, dude, I don't know about this, and a lot of people were like, no, this could work, whatever. I was like, dude, I don't think this is going to work. You need one captain for things to even be like for people to be able to evaluate whether good work is being done. Because if you have two captains, who do you blame for the success? Who do you blame for the failure? Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Mishi, welcome, says predicts Mass Effect will flop. I hope you're wrong. The other point to note is this probably would have happened because BioWare is only focusing on one project now. No need for additional people. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Voidlock, welcome in, says BioWare and Ubisoft falling off their high horse. Ubisoft bin fell off, dude. In my opinion, like Ubisoft's been done for a long time. I know Valhalla sold a lot, but Ubisoft's been done for a minute. Poison Maniac says definitely smaller team helps with communication and less chance of the actual vision being lost in translation passed along the line. Exactly, exactly. Keep it tight. Keep it tight. Ham, would you like to plug anything before we leave our 100th episode in the history books?
I just want to ask everybody to hit that like button and remember that I got a show tomorrow. I'm going to be having a developer come through that, and he did respond to what I. If you were with me on my show earlier, you remember me talking about indie game Joe and talking about his, come up in the industry as of his recent game that came out, um, Hypercharge game that came out for Xbox, the FPS shooter. Um, that's an indie game made only by 6 devs. It's going to be coming to PlayStation soon as well, which is awesome for them. Big times. They sold over 100,000 copies on Xbox, and that may not sound like a lot compared to all the stuff that we usually talk about with millions of sales and stuff like that. But when you think about it, for an indie developer of only 6 people, selling 100,000 of a copy of just one thing for like $25 to $45 a pop is a lot of money for them. So and they're continuing to make money. That was only on Xbox as well. That had nothing to do with PC, and they're obviously putting the money towards making it available on PlayStation as well. So he'll be here tomorrow about 10 a.m. Eastern time. He'll be joining me. I'll have already had the show started, but I'll be kicking it with him, talking about his history, talking about what he sees in the gaming industry, talking about what he's coming to expect with releasing games in 2025 and stuff like that. It should be a very exciting conversation. So make sure you guys come through, um, slide through and say what's up tomorrow. If you have anything dope to say, if you have a good enough question, I'll ask him. If you have a pretty good question and I don't get to it, super chat it, and I'll definitely make sure to ask him it, as long as you do it while he is there. So, anyways, that's all I have to say. Thanks everybody for sliding through and checking out today's podcast with me and Loke, and then also thank you guys that showed up earlier to check out my show that I did earlier solo. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all a bunch.
All right, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow for Ham Solo show. Friday, we're doing bullsitting as usual with me, Ham, Cozy Beluga, Matt Likes Games, Mental 99, and a guest or two if they show up this week. Mondays, we've got Everything Plus Gaming with me, Ham, Ty, and Oshus discussing Everything Plus Gaming. Tuesday, I will endeavor to, you know what, maybe even Monday, I might just try and beat, you know what, between Monday and Tuesday, I'll try and beat Dustborn or progress way more in the yeah. So yeah, thank you guys for coming through. We'll see you guys tomorrow at Ham Solo Show. Bye bye.